How do we use our emergency funds account or our emergency fund money? Hi, I'm MR3. In this channel, we talk about frugal living, budgeting, and minimalism. If you like this kind of content, give it a thumbs up, give it a like, and subscribe. How do we, or how should we use our emergency fund money? And that's F-U-N-D, not F-U-N. But you see, when I first started this, I wanted to build it to about 5 or 6 months of my income. So that's where I'm basically at right now. But the best way people say is to build it to 3 to 6 months. Whatever is good for you. Whatever you feel comfortable at. Because emergencies do happen. Think about your last emergency. And if you want, you can write in the comments what kind of emergencies you have faced recently, or maybe in the last year, or even in years past. Me, the only emergency I think I really had in the past was just trying to get my place, like my stuff for my place. The things I had in my place, I needed some furniture and everything. I needed stuff, appliances. So that's how I used my emergency. I brought it all the way down close to 0. But I had to rebuild it, and because I knew emergencies were going to happen. There's always an emergency that happens. I didn't want to have to check out loans. So when I built it up to this amount, where I have it right now, then I said if I ever went down, then I would want to rebuild it. So if I say if I had $6,000 in my account and I use 1,000 of it, my first goal would be to build it back to 6,000 again. But after that, my goal is not to use it ever until I need it in a big emergency. And one thing we should do is not see everything as emergency. Like, I need new shoes. It's an emergency. No, it's not. I use my shoes over and over again. Sometimes I even use it to a point where it's falling apart. And my mom, lovingly, she tells me that I need to get new shoes. Or I need to get a new shirt. But I'm not going to use my emergency money for it. If my refrigerator goes out, that would be a good time to get a refrigerator with their emergency money. My washer dryer goes out, that would be another good time to get an emergency money, or a new washer and dryer, and use their emergency money. But just to use it for birthdays and Christmases, those are not emergencies. They might seem like an emergency, but we always come up with emergency purposes, but they're not really emergencies. But just some of the things I listed are emergencies. Things that you can't live without. So you probably need, your battery's gone out from time to time. Everyone's has. So you need a battery. So that's another good time to get out their emergency money. You need a new TV? Well, save up another account for that one, for small things. Because having no TV is not an emergency. So But you kind of get the idea. Say you lose a job and you have to find a new job. Well, guess what? If you have an emergency money saved up like 3 to 6 months, well, at least you have some fallback. And that's when you can use it. So, always have an emergency money, and use that emergency money for your purposes, not for everybody else's purposes. People are always going to have sorrow stories of how they can't pay their bills. They're not going to think about you. They're going to think about their own selves. They did something they shouldn't have, and then they're going to make a sob story. How many times has that happened? It happens all the time. Then when you want that money or you need that money back, they come up with another story. How they were supposed to get paid, but they never did. And, you know, the whole story. But that emergency money is for your emergency only. Not everybody else's. Not your family. Not your siblings. Not your... I'm a Christian, so not a girlfriend or... and if you're a boy, not your girlfriend. If you're a girl, not your boyfriend. It's just made for you. Because everyone's going to always have stories to tell you that, to make their situation seem like an emergency, but it's not an emergency. That emergency is yours because you worked hard for it. It's hard to save. It's hard to deny yourself and build it up to that. So that emergency should be only yours. Because no one cares about your emergencies when you have it. So let's use it for your emergencies. And remember, when you take parts of it, once you get another job or once things are good again, start rebuilding your emergency account again. Because there's going to be another emergency. Maybe a year, 10 years. But you'll have that and you'll be a lot better off when you have it built up again. I have a friend on here. She built hers up to a year because she bought a house in 2020 and she just wanted to be safe, because when you have a house there's always going to be problems that will arise, and she is very smart. She's one that I take tips from on YouTube, and I'm very blessed to have her, or to watch her channel, and I mention her from time to time. But just keep watching Frugal Living channels. This is my outlook on how to use the emergency funds. You might have your own. That's fine. But I would always say just keep building it back to neutral, which should be 3 to 6 months. And above and beyond would be maybe a year. But do what makes you feel comfortable. Some people say just keep building it until you stop living. I don't want to be morbid and say different words, but yeah, just keep building it up. So thank you guys for watching my video, and if you came across any of your own emergencies, maybe you can leave a comment. I always like to hear from you guys. So I'm MR3, and you are all awesome.